Thank you, Angel, and Heidi ho, everyone. I was about to say happy hump day, but I'm a day early. It is not hump day at all. It's Tuesday. And let's hope it's a terrific Tuesday in terms of trading. You do with a breakout win, I've got to say. Let me share that screen with you and we'll set that trade up. I decided yesterday to go back to my system and we didn't hit TP1 in time. We did eventually, but not in time, which leads me to have a look at the other system, which I haven't recorded, of course. That was the 9 o'clock bar. No, it was 11 o'clock bar. There's the 9 o'clock bar. So there's the bottom of the range. So the other, you got to love trading, right? So the optimized version would have been a winner. And just now, you would have had to hang on all of that time because there was the low of the range. There would have been your stop loss, and you would have been in that trade all of that time. And now, finally hit profit. Gotta love trading. Okay, today what have we got? We'll stick with my way and see if we can turn that around. Oh my God! Look at the candle here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it's one candle, no matter which strategy you're trading. And yeah, you're trading long odds on, I would have thought, if you're going to trade the optimized version, which means you're going to have to take profit there, which would mean that you would be risking 60 odd pips to pick up 20. That's the system. Okay, let's go with mine and see what we can find. So the sell, we'll put the sell order in. I think we can do that, or the entry anyway. We can't actually give you the 138.26 is going to be the entry. I can't give you the stop loss because that candle hasn't closed. 1.3826 is going to be the entry. Seem to have lost my controls. There we go. Happy days. Happy Tuesday to you too, Paul. Stop loss. Look, I'll put it in just nominally. There may be a higher high than this, but 1.3972 as it stands at the moment will be the stop loss. 38. What? That's wrong. God, these give me bad readings. Let me try that again. High of that bar, 1.38854. That's better. 1.3886 is the stop loss. For the short, making TP1, and this will be dangerous. So it'd be 30 pips. So we're going 1.3794 will be TP1. For the sell and the take profit 2 will be 120 pips, so 3,706 will be, oh, that all went wrong, 706. There we go. I think I can safely put that up there now. Now because we're just trading one bar today because it covers the last 5 bars, but more particularly in my case, the last 3. Entry will be the reverse of this, and the stop loss will be the reverse of this. So buy will be 1.3886. And the stop loss will be 1.3826. TP1 will be going north, 1.3916. Better hurry up. And TP2 Ooh. TP2 is going to be, what have we got? 120 pips. So that's going to be 1.4012, if my math is correct. 1.4012. There we go. Righto, putting up a nice little potential double cross here. That might be a trade I might look to take, as a matter of fact. But for the system, and again, guys, if you're here for the first time, this is in absolute test mode. It's not a proven system, so we have to be very careful with our funds here. It's micro lots at best, or just watch it and wait and see how it all pans out. 1.3886 is the buy. And the stop loss is 1.3826. Okay. There's that one. The sell. Again, sell stop. Very little money on the table. 1.3826 and 1.3886. Rightio, there we go. Rock and roll. TP1, we're going to move that. It's going to be way above there. 1.3916. Just above the monthly pivot by the look of it. Yeah, it's a bit ambitious, isn't it? But there you go. That's the system. 1 point. Whoops, that's not what I meant to do. TP2, 1.4012. I did get that right, I assume. About there somewhere. Whew. Bang on. Okay, so if that looks like 120 pips, I'll be happy. It's a bit more. Why? 120 onto that is 06. That's why. That's why. So my math isn't that great. 06 4006. Okay. Better change that. Okay, I think we're good to go for that. TP1 for the shorts will be 1.3794, just above where we are. There, and 1.3706. Wrong way. Good enough. Righto, all set and ready to go. I don't expect we're going to get a trigger anytime soon, but that could well change any tick of the clock. Put in a new order this morning, guys. And somewhat remarkably, I haven't been triggered on that. But to me, it looks as though it went through my entry, which is a bit weird. But I haven't been triggered on Kiwi Yen. The order is a buy at 77.85, the stop loss at 77.44, and TP1 is at 78.03. Now, this is pretty much a short-term play only, with the potential bonus of it going to test this high, but I don't really expect it to go any further than that. Those stranger things have happened, of course. I'm really playing the range, and the range to me is very, very clear and very indecisive, but we appear to have bounced off the monthly pivot for I'll say a fourth time. It's not exact by any stretch, but the range is pretty clear to me. Those two lows there are the bottom of the range, and we've last visited the bottom. We put in a higher low, and we've got a slingshot scenario there that I like with that pullback bar there, and that's the bar that we're trading. We've got a stop loss under there a little bit. So I'm looking for that to be a breakout. TP1 at the top of the range, and as I say, if we get fortunate, then we'll be looking for a retest of those highs. I'm also going to go back to my roots, as it were, and I'm going to have a look at the euro dollar 30-minute chart every day now, because I miss it, frankly. And my analysis today tells me it's very, very tough to trade. But I do have something to hang my hat on, and it's this trade line here. So I'll be looking at that zone, which, of course, is a retest area of the previous breakout zone. If we were to get that, come back off it, get underneath the confluence area here, then I'll look to trade this short. Can't see me trading it long, frankly. I know there is a bit of dollar selling going on as we speak. This is the, pardon me, this is the euro index. This is the dollar index. Dollar index has reached, or almost reached, I'll put it that way, a little bit of resistance here, but it has broken through the previous horizontal level, in my humble opinion, which is this one here. Maybe there's a retest on that today before attacking that trend line again. We shall see, and that's what I'm expecting. I'm only expecting a short-term sell here, or retracement, let's put it that way, back to that level. There's a confluence there, pardon me. So I think the dollar is probably got its focus around about the 95 handle. That's kind of where I see it before the trend might resume. So that's a little bit of what I'm looking at today. Nothing expansive on what we've already shown you for the weekly watch list. But the pound looks to be shaping up there as though it might be a little bit of a short-term play to monthly pivot. We'll see how that pans out. Pardon me, the breakout area is there, and it's a big candle that we're trading. Let's see how we go. Morning, Ash.
Good morning, mate. How's things with you?
Mate, yeah, no point grumbling, I don't think.
Yeah. No.
There's really nothing happening, so I can't grumble too much. Although pound Kiwi looks as though it might take on the new high here today. If we can burst through there, then that trade looks particularly nice, because we've got another target area up here somewhere. But, you know, my ultimate target is a long way from there. I'm up here somewhere. So this is just short term, I suppose, morale building if we were to break through that area.
Yeah.
And then we'll be looking, really, I'll be looking for a retest of the bottom of this range, or ascending channel, if you like. And I think that'll be a nice scaling point for me if we do get that at some stage.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because actually, looking at that chart, you can see that the pound is pretty much back to its 2000. Well, okay, so certainly back to its 2017 lows, pretty much, isn't it? So the year after the first rally after the Brexit votes, we're back in that area again, and knowing what we know about the pound, the picture doesn't look too bad. The one thing that is a big problem for the pound really now is, now we flip back to the kind of bickering between the EU and the UK, you know, mainly to do with the EU trying to get some kind of market share of the UK's financial services sector, and quite a few companies have looked at going into the Netherlands, which makes a lot of sense, actually. You know, the Netherlands and Holland is really constructed in a way that those companies could perform very, very well, and it's one of the outperformers of Europe. Obviously, Germany always does well, and we did see the DAX make fresh highs yesterday. But the Netherlands and Holland, you know, it's just a a good solid economy, a good solid country, and very similar to the UK in many respects as well. It's only slightly to the east of the UK. It's just only slightly to over the waters to the UK.
Wasn't there somewhat of an can't even say it now.
Exodus.
Yeah, well, that wasn't the word I was looking for, but it sounds better than the one I was looking for. I was going to say exit.
Yes. Yeah.
By quite a few companies during Brexit, was there not?
I don't think the percentage. No, it wasn't just talk, but I don't think the percentage ended up being that significant. And I also think what happened was, rather than them exiting the UK, I think what they did was set up companies in other parts of Europe so they could basically trade easier, because they were also then registered in Europe as well as being in the UK.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So yeah, I don't think it was quite, and all these things depend on what which news publication you're reading the report from. If you read anything to do with the Daily Express over here, it's so Brexit friendly that you would you'd be mistaken in thinking that Brexit's a good thing for the UK, and maybe it will be, in some regards, and I'm sure it will be in some regards, and I mean, the question of whether it is good for the UK has come back quite a few times, and when you look around the world, in some respects, it's going to be damaging, because obviously the EU is our trading partner, but the Eurozone as a bloc has really diminished its power quite significantly over the last 20-25 years. We all know where the growth is in the world, and it's not in Europe. And I don't think it'll ever really come back to Europe in the way that it was promoted to be, in the first place either, unless they change the structure of the EU. Then maybe that would help things out a little bit. But there's not really the growth in Europe that would make that much significance. If the UK can get its trading partners and its new regime sorted, opening up more trade with the likes of India, then
Asia generally, I would have thought, yeah.
Yeah, and well, interesting to know, mate. I watched that YouTube video last night, and I didn't start it till midnight, which was a mistake. Wow. It's about 2 hours long, but it's so absorbing. Have you watched it?
I have, yeah, absolutely.
It's so absorbing. Harry Dent is
he's out there, isn't he?
Do you know what? He's great to watch, and actually, when you first watch him, you just think that he's this kind of because of the way he kind of expresses himself, you think that he's just this quite pig-headed about things, but he's not. That the other guy was well, I think getting quite across with him. He wasn't he because a little bit. Because it seemed like he didn't listen very much. But Harry Dent, I think he was as magnanimous as he could be in some regards of what the other guy was saying as well. And I would really encourage everybody to watch it. It's a fascinating interview. The stuff that he says about gold, the stuff they both say about gold is really interesting. The stuff they say about Bitcoin also is very interesting as well. And the stuff that they talk about Asia is really interesting. And both of them actually say that China is done. That they don't.
It was very interesting.
Yeah, and Southeast Asia seems to be the way where it's at, and I think the case they make for India is a very, very solid one. And I think if you were to pick out the most important aspects of that interview, Harry Dent is calling for, just so everybody's aware, Harry Dent is calling for gold to fall to $1,000 an ounce, whereas the other guy, James something, I can't remember. James Rickards is calling for gold to go to $15,000. But where they both actually meet is the eventual outcome of gold going up. So even Harry Dent was in agreement that gold will eventually go up. So it's definitely an asset class that economists out there seem to have some kind of confluence on. So whether it goes to 1,000, we continue to buy down there, or whether it goes from here to 15,000, who knows? Or whether it gets to either, who knows? But it is kind of regarded as a safe haven for inflation. When it comes down to India, when was that being mentioned? What, in the interview, Lewis? What part of the interview was that mentioned? It's kind of all the way through. I mean, they cover it all the way through, but they have a proper spat around about an hour in or something, where they discuss Asia, and they sort of say that Southeast Asia is a really, but both of them again were in agreement about India, and both make a very compelling case for India. But they both suggest that China is kind of done, and it would kind of make sense in many respects because of the speed that China did. Oh, when was the interview? Oh, Jeff's got the link.
It was only a week or so ago.
Yeah, it was only a week. Yeah, it's the 2nd of March. But just look on YouTube.
I'll put the link in there again.
Yeah, put the link in again, mate.
I'll put the link in.
Yeah, put the link in again. But it's Harry Dent and no problem. Harry Dent and James Ricard. Be careful though, because it would put you off buying Bitcoin.
That's what I told Simon not to watch it.
Yeah. Yeah. It would definitely put you off buying Bitcoin, and it's put me off, I have to say. Well, it hasn't put me off. It's just made me think. Well, I'm definitely convinced that this is too high for Bitcoin now after watching that. And I wasn't yesterday. I mentioned that it wouldn't have been my game to kind of buy into it here, and after watching that, it definitely won't be my game. I think I'm still interested in Bitcoin, but it's going to have to come back to at least 40,000 before I start to kind of polish the shopping trolley.
Are you hearing that?
Very, very quietly, yeah.
Sorry, I'll just get the link and get out of here.
Oh, interested in gold. Yeah. Well, the gold picture is very interesting. Let me just show you the chart of gold, and I'll show you what they are both saying, and then we can make a judgment call on what we think. The thing about gold, in my opinion, it's just how you get into it, because they both agree, and I think many economists probably agree that gold is going higher. Now, what is also mentioned is the fact that people think just because there's been money printing that there will be a higher gold price, and that's just not the case. So, what we need to have a discussion about is inflation or deflation. We need to be sort of like thinking about inflation or deflation. What is the main driver of gold? Harry Dent makes this point. The main driver of gold is inflation. Now, what we got to try and figure out is, yes, we've got a load of money printing, but it doesn't necessarily lead to inflation, because James Ricard is kind of saying that the labor force needs to be diminished, which it kind of is. Wages need to go up because there is a diminished labor force because of an aging population and everything else, which is another case they make about China. The fact that China has got this, have this one-child policy, so they won't be able to have the growth that they've had in the past. I don't know exactly when that one-child policy fully plays out, but it seems like we might be in around about that region now, or certainly coming up. And you've got this aging population, and that would suggest that with a diminishing workforce, they will be able to charge more money, and then we will have this wage inflation. And the wage inflation, according to James Ricard, is inflationary on the whole. Whereas Harry Dent is saying that may well be the case when it comes down to wages, but if they're not spending, then it won't cause inflation. So what we need to be looking at are specific metrics which suggest whether the US is spending. We'll stick to the US, but globally, whether we're spending or whether we are saving. The metrics we need to look at. Obviously, we need to look at CPIs. We need to look at M1 money supply. We need to look at the M4 money supply. We need to look at wage inflation. So average earnings as well is going to be a really important metric. So then when we come back to gold, I'm just going to take my lines off. When we come back to gold, what we have is an argument that it's coming down here. This is a long.
Daisuke, sorry. I'll get Shukri to answer your question when he comes into the room. He'll be all over that.
Effectively down here for one person's argument, and the other person's argument, I can't even get it on the chart, that it's going to 15,000. Now sorry, 15. Yeah, 15,000. Yeah. So and his argument is, to paraphrase it, his argument is that if you look at the trends in gold, he had three arguments for the price of gold. If you look at for the trends in gold, its first run was something like 2,000% or something, and the second run is something like 600%. So if you take a second bull run was around about 6,000%. If you take 600%, if you take an average, of the two, then you end up with around about 13,000%. I think it's about right. In fact, I'm probably paraphrasing it really, really badly. It might have been 600 points and 1,000 points or something. I can't remember, but he basically measured it mathematically off the last two bull runs in gold, and then came up with an equation which suggested 15,000. He also made a case for the amount of money that the US is printing and how much gold would have to be worth to cover the money that has been printed, and it would be around about 40% of the overall printed money, and that also led to around about the same figure, around about $10,000 to $15,000 in gold. And there was one more metric which I can't remember what he used, but it was a relatively compelling case. Now, Harry Dent was really talking about the fact that we are going to get the greatest deflationary episode over the next 2 months. I mean, he's basically calling it between April and May. That are going to see stocks tank, gold tank, and the only thing that will be able to protect your money are US bonds. Now, it's really Treasury bonds. Now, and he talked about the 30-year as well. It's really interesting that we are in this scenario here, because we need to educate ourselves on this. So not so we start trading it, but just so we know that we should be looking out for certain things that might suggest that this is going to happen, because there are two people on completely different sides of the argument, and both of them are using maths to try and explain their argument. It's not it's that they're not kind of going on their gut feeling, and I think for that reason they both make a very compelling case, which suggests to me that we need to really watch out for either. Both may happen. Either may happen. So one thing I quite like about the gold story is that they both believe it's going higher. Now, if it goes down to 1,000 first and you've not leveraged up, then you're safe. It almost doesn't matter where you get into it. As long as I think Harry Dent is maybe calling it a 5,000 rather than 15,000, but it doesn't matter where you get into it. If you start getting in here, you're around about $750 too high, according to Harry Dent. But eventually, the gold price turns around. So it's not really an exercise in trading; it's more an exercise in investing. You'd probably want to look at it as an investment case, unless you can figure out a way that you can trade it. And if you can figure out the way to trade it, then again, you're going to have to cut down the leverage and not try and bank on it too hard. Lewis, I am surprised that you didn't get in at 1680. I was thinking this morning, God, my goodness me, Lewis has traded this to an absolute perfection. He's done so well, because obviously you were selling it all the way down. And you said you're not going to close your position until you get to 1680, and I thought, what a brilliant trade, and beautifully executed. And I'm surprised to hear you say that, mate. However, I wouldn't be too concerned, because this is what we should look for now with gold. This should promote some buying, right? Next week we see a seasonal bottoming potentially in the gold price. Now this here is a possible neckline. You don't need to rush in. I still don't think you need to rush into this, even with missing that. And regardless of whether you traded it well, mate, I think brilliant call on your 1680. Really, really good call, and really good discipline to this point to not take it on. I think that could potentially form some kind of neckline. Now we do have trend lines over here as well. There's quite a few levels, so it's got to get through this point. But I'm looking at gold, and I'm wondering, Oh, okay, mate. Well, that's good enough. That is good enough. As long as you're not over leveraged, I think that's fine. I think we are looking for this to potentially give us the inverted head and shoulders reversal pattern that we want here. Now, if we think about, which leads us back here, right? So if we think about the things that really drive a good trade, you know, what in my opinion anyway, what are the metrics that we need to drive a good trade? Fundamental, some sort of fundamental bias is forming, and a technical pattern or a technical reason to trade that fundamental bias. Now, the COT data that I've been reading over the weekend looked to me like it was bottoming out. There was a big spike in the buy orders at the last week. Big spike in the buy orders. Now they're still on a very low ebb. They're still down the lower end. You know, I'm not talking about on the 6 month. I'm talking about on the 3 year and the COT data over 3 years. It looked to me like it was spiking to the upside. So it's not in that buy kind of area where we start to see the COT index kind of start to show, you know, that the buyers are really heavily coming into play. What it is suggesting is that the sellers have eased right back, and it may even cause a lack of liquidity. And if there's a lack of liquidity, any kind of orders could spike the price. So the COT data is starting to support it in a very minimal way. The seasonal aspect, the seasonal data is suggesting that next week we should start getting a bottom in gold. You know, it starts to bottom around about the middle of March. So from Monday, it's a kind of buy signal with gold. But we have to remember this data is really being brought in since 1970, and which is when we should be really looking at data with gold. 1971, which is when the US kind of came off the gold standard. So if we look at gold on the seasonals, it might be that it's a little bit earlier than the 14th of March. It might be a little bit later than the 14th of March, but we're in that zone. You know, we're starting to get in the seasonal zone where we can get interested in gold. Now, the last thing is that we need that technical pattern. And if we see this get to this neckline, create this low here, which would be the higher low, and the inverted head and shoulders off the trend line, which is my favorite signal for an inverted head and shoulders, then we have a really strong, signal to start going for long. So I don't think you're too late, Lewis. I don't think you're too late at all on this, and I don't think anybody is. So in my opinion, you know, everybody look for it to pop to the upside, get to around about the 1705 level, 1710, 1705. If it comes back down again to around about the 1685 area, then I think that would be a really good time to start looking for buy signals on a short-term basis with gold, because I think the 4 hour could create this inverted head and shoulders. So that's the case I'm going to make, mate. You know, the conversation with Harvey Dent and James Rickard, everybody can watch that and make their own opinion on it.
I think it's worth watching, isn't it? Don't you? I thought it was worth
undoubtedly.
watching.
Do you know? I think all these things are worth watching. You know, because you've got two stalwarts of the really financial kind of commentators. You know, that they are stalwarts when it comes down to financial commentators, and whether we agree with them or not is not the question. What we're trying to garner is what metrics are they looking at. You know, that's what I want to know. What metrics are they looking at to come up with this thesis? And then we go back and say, well, you know, do we agree or disagree with that, with those metrics? Because if we agree, then we should be trading in the same way as either one of them. So yeah, it's definitely worth looking at, mate. Shukri is in. Sorry,
Shukri is in. We'll be with Shukri in about 5 minutes.
Great stuff.
Fad, mate, me and gold just don't. Well, it's not that we don't see eye to eye. I just don't trade gold, so I'm really unqualified to tell you anything that's going to make any difference. I hope, anyway. But if you're asking me for a technical level, the most obvious technical level that I see is around about the 1560 mark. That's the most obvious horizontal level I can see on my chart. Around this, it's a cloud of a price between 1550 and 1600, I suppose.
You're down here, right?
In there somewhere.
Yeah, yeah. Just to add my opinion, fans. Personally, no, I don't think it is too early. I think 1680 is a good price, personally, but it does depend how you play it. You know, we're looking at this potentially being a low. I mean, we look at this. Look at the weekly chart here. There is structure here. You know, this is where the trend took off from. All that's happened is that, you know, we should have held up here. We haven't. Now we should hold up here, because if we don't hold up here, then the last trend that we've had on the weekly chart, you know, on the weekly basis on gold, will have collapsed and would have failed. But there is structure here, and I'll tell you what else is here as well. You know, when we start sort of like really looking at some of these things here with gold, there are levels here that suggest that this is the bounce point. You know, whether it is the ultimate bounce point, I don't know. You know, it might just get up to here and then fail again, and then come back down to Jeff's area. But there is definitely some support in this level. And I'll tell you what else. if you bring this onto a fib, and take the bottom to the top. Take the trend here. Take the trend from where you know, that was kind of the bottoming out. That's the first higher low there. You come off from the fib. This is also a confluence on the fib, 50% retracement. So I think when it comes down to gold, there's a lot to like in this area. And as I say, it could be a dead cat bounce. You might get up to 1786 and fail, 1790, let's say, and fail. But I don't think it's too early for a trade, personally.
I hasten to add, Fad, that I won't be placing trades. So, as I say, that's only my technical opinion and nothing more than that, because I know nothing about gold.
Yeah, you don't like the gold stuff, do you, mate?
Well, it's just not my thing. No,
it's not your thing. Yeah, which is completely fair enough, and that's the way that we should all be trading, in my opinion. You know, we should really be looking at the things that we like researching.
Well, you've got some knowledge about, yes. It's nice. Yeah. It's nice to have some knowledge around you, you know.
Yeah, well, you've got that, mate. I mean, you know what's going on. I mean, you don't gravitate towards it necessarily, but you know what's going on with gold, and you've watched the Harvey Dent and Harvey Dent, that's Two-Face, at the Harry Dent and Richard and James Rickard's interview, and that also puts you in a position where you go, I do get it. You know, you do get it. It's not like that. It's not that, is it? It's just that you just don't gravitate to it.
I'll put it to you this way: if Harry Dent's right, I'll probably start buying at 1,000.
Yeah. Okay, I'll join you.
Mm.
Well, I won't start there. I'll probably finish there.
No, I know you won't start there, but that would probably be the only thing that would interest me.
Yeah.
I believe, because you know I'm not a chaser. If it's there, it's there. If it's not, it's not.
Yeah,
it doesn't bother me at all.
I'm with you on that. Talking of,
but I'm more than happy if you guys make a squillion. Yeah, I hope you do.
Yeah. Looking at the price action descending, 1680 should have a lower high first. Yeah, that would be the most sensible way to play it, Fad, and that would suggest to me that the 4 hour is the best way to do that. And as I say, if you look at this 4 hour chart, I think that there is an argument to be made that we have got a potential head here. I think that's a head. I think that could be a left shoulder. So that means that's the neckline. That means we pop up, pop back, get a lovely little entry off the right shoulder, and we're away. And that would match the break of the trend line here as well. So I think there's yes, you if you've got in here, you're probably going to get a similar price on the pullback. It was my point about 1680, but yes, let's wait for a technical pattern, because if this does show an accumulation pattern, this is going to start looking really attractive.
Cancel the shorts or delete the shorts on the pound. We have been triggered long.
Okie dokie. So long on the pound. Now, we were just talking about somebody who knows his eggs, and a man that researches and enjoys the field that he researches in. And one has just entered the room. A god amongst men.
I don't know how he stays awake.
Well, he's on this moonbeam stuff. Is he on moon dust?
Ah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Open it with a head and shoulder. Ash's favorite pattern.
My favorite. Yes. Yes. What is going on, mate? I'm Bitcoin taking off again to the upside. 54,000 currently.
The interesting thing is this. Okay, guys, I warned you about this pattern on Sunday. Hello, inverse head and shoulder.
Yes, you did.
Textbook flips up, goes back to the
Yeah, nice.
and off it goes. This is the best textbook pattern that you can see.
Yeah. Yeah. Very nice, mate. Very nice indeed.
It's a whale of a one, I've got to say. It's a big fella.
It's like God bless America for President Biden and 1.9 trillion. I think the checks are coming in like on March 14th. So as Gordon said last night, it's going to be staggered, right? But I think people are just front running liquidity. They're just buying this. They're just buying in anticipation of it going up, or they're buying this and then they know, because they know when the money comes in, like last time, $600 managed to push the crypto markets up quite a bit. This is 1,400. So I think they're just buying it and then just waiting it to go up, and then I don't know. Probably we'll see another dump, but I think if we see that dump, and I do expect another dump, that is probably the last viable dump before we go to the crazy space again. Yeah,
that makes sense to me, Shukri. I mean, and I was going to ask you, do you think that we are going to break to the upside from here, or are we in a bit of a range here, and we're probably going to
range? But knowing cryptos, I know people are getting excited about this. It always takes some time. Cryptos are good at faking you out. There will always be a fake out somewhere. So I know this is easy. This pattern is because, yes, I can say it's the fundamentals. Ethereum, they have a London fork. Hey, who's in London? They have a London.
Chloe's in London.
They have a London fork in July, right, to bring the cost of gas down. But I think this is just a Biden thing. People are buying in anticipation of people getting money next week and going into the markets.
And, you think so?
Yeah, I think so. This will be like Bitcoin, Ethereum, things like Doji. Hey, Doji is going to come back. I'm sure of that. XRP. Doesn't matter that XRP is not good. I'm not going to say trash. I don't like it, but they will push the favorites.
Yeah, that sounds really dangerous to me, Shukri. As a player, if you are getting a check in the post, or if you're getting a promise to check in the post, and all you do is go out and buy yourself some Bitcoin, with that, not that in itself isn't the issue. What you're doing is hoping that it's going higher, so your check becomes worth more. Yeah. I mean, if that, and the market has got a terrible habit of doing what we least expect. So. If what you're saying is correct and we get this dump, a lot of people are going to be going through a lot of issues.
And this is what's happening. The people who are buying this week, which means the educated people that are already in the market, are just waiting to make a killing, right? Because we know it's going to be stuck somewhere here for quite some time. I don't believe it can blast through fast. Even if it blasts through, it will come back like that. So they're just waiting to sell above here. Normal. This is normal. Same thing with Ethereum too. This is just normal, where the smart money is already in. Oh, okay. Simon's not from London anymore. Forget London. Forget I mentioned London, okay?
I forgot, Simon's there, isn't he?
Hey guys, I'm from Seychelles, okay? I'm gonna be from Seychelles too. Don't bother me. Okay. So let's go on Moonbeam. What's happening there? But first, okay, this is what's happening now. Okay, this is but before that, before this, there was the cryptos and there was DeFi, right? And when a project mentioned DeFi, it went up. Now, guys, there's something else. It's called NFT. And look at this NFT that got listed like what was this, Fat, 28 hours ago? This started at 27 cents.
Jeez.
It's now at $11.27, 40x, just 40x. Yeah, that's what happened to NFTs. So in the future, I think project for them to go up is easy. We're going to announce an NFT project. It may be a lie, but it doesn't matter. It's going to give a push up. Okay. I can't see the chart. Yeah, this is so new that there's even no chart there.
Kings of Leon launched their album on as an NFT.
John's going to launch an album on NFTs. Yeah. He knows what to do now. But not so expensive, John. Give us a little bit cheaper, okay? Give us a little bit cheaper, John. Don't put it at 1 Ethereum. Discount for access to wealth, people. Okay, so this is what's happening in the world now. Anything with NFT, it's just going to blast off. Yeah, so every single project now is designing a blockchain, not only for fast transaction, for swapping, but it's also for NFTs. And I find that totally exciting.
Right. Yeah. So sifting through the thing is with this stuff is it seems am I wrong in this that that the percentage of coins that seem to be being launched right now are being bought? Is it are there a higher percentage right now that are going up in value than down in value? I mean, where are the dogs anymore? Are there still dogs out there?
Yeah, there are dogs that aren't moving, but most have already gone up. Right. I saw a very interesting Facebook post. It was on shitcoins, and the conclusion was very beautiful. It said that, hey, all the good cryptos have gone up. If your crypto hasn't gone up, it's probably a shitcoin.
That'd be a fair assessment.
That's a fair assessment, right?
Makes sense.
That makes sense to me. Okay. That must be right. Okay. But on Polkadot now, okay, guys, we have a special session on Sunday. Again, at 2:30 to 3:30. Those that have been to the wallet class part 1 and part 2, please come in. 2:30 and 3:30, we are going to simulate an IDO, initial DEX offering. You guys will be sending real cryptos to a real address. So we're just going to practice, okay? This is a practice for the real thing. So I've decided to do it live, okay? And this is very important because, as I said, you're going to burn some gas. At least you know what gas is. You know that you have to spend some money on that. That's so important. But nowadays, what's going on now is the exciting part about Polkadot now and Kusama is the auction is coming soon. So what they're going to do, this is a parachain example. This could be on Kusama. This could be on Polkadot. They're going to bid, right? They're going to bid. This is with DOT, of course. And they're going to bid. And many companies are going to bid. And only there's going to be like one winner at a time, I think. And then they're going to do it like every 2 weeks or so. So this is what you do, right? What happens is that when the auction ends, it will just determine who wins. It's the highest price at that time. And you guys from Great Britain, you guys introduced this, right? Hey, no wonder Gavin Wood is doing this. He comes from Great Britain, English. Yeah, he comes from England, yeah. Candle auction, English auction that became popular in the 17th and 18th century. So there is an auction. And then you have a candle, and when the candle blows out, that's the last prize.
Oh, how cool is that? I like that, mate. That's
introducing the British culture into crypto.
I mean, I've seen some pretty big and thick candles. You know, the ones you get in the church.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you get the really, really big ones, almost as tall as a person. The really big ones. You definitely wouldn't want to turn up to the auction house and see one of those at the side. This is going to go on a while. I'd want to see one of the birthday candles, really, just so they time it with candles burning. I like that.
They time it with candles, which I think is cool. And the good thing, Parity Technologies, which is Polkadot. Guess what, guys? This is great. And Polkadot people will like this. Parity Technologies, which is Polkadot, really, is now actually going to provide, is now actually the formal teaching this. They're actually going to provide tools to University of California, Berkeley.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They're going to provide things to teach the students there on Polkadot ecosystem substrate. So Berkeley is actually one of the top blockchain schools. Not as good as Cornell, okay? May I emphasize that? But I think they're the top 4. I think, Berkeley is the top 4. I'm not sure whether number 3. So, sorry, Berkeley is number 3. MIT number 1, Cornell number 2, Berkeley number 3. Then I think it's Stanford number 4. So that's very interesting.
Yes, it is.
It is. And the thing is, this is interesting because Berkeley also has its own a great blockchain called this OSIS, which goes by the name of Rose, right? You can look at the ticker symbol Roses from Berkeley. So I think that from Berkeley is going to give birth to a lot of more new blockchains based on that's exciting.
I mean, will they get to a point where they're all kind of trying to solve the same issue? And,
yes, that's why not all will win. Only some will win. The best will win. And that's why when we go through this, our goal is simple. Basically, you just pick the best projects and you do your risk management. And then basically you get out when you want to get out, when it's profitable. Or if you see that the project is going on for the long term, keep it for the long term. Now, what is good now, guys? And let's look again at this. Let's look again at this Kusama thing for Moonbeam. We're going to look at another project, okay? We are going to look at another project because we are also going to look at this, right? We're also going to look at other projects such as, Akala. Okay, we'll look at this first. Let's look at this first. Okay, this is Moonbeam Network. Look at what's happening here, guys. The River Tokens, okay? So River Tokens is going to launch, right? And they are asking here, but Kusama is a test net. Why would Moonbeam stay on this network once it's fully launched on Polkadot? So they're going to have two, one on Polkadot and one on Kusama. This is very critical. And look at this. This guy asked, from my understanding, Kusama is a platform where teams can make decisions quicker, make mistakes faster, and improve faster. Yes, this is why they have something called a canary network at Kusama. Like Jeff said, if the canary goes down, it won't survive. You put this on the canary first. If the canary survives, you go on the main one, which is Polkadot. So if you want to make big money, what do? You find a canary network for a big blockchain, right? And
interesting.
Yeah, Simon knows. We found the canary network for ADA, man. We have found it. So you go in early because Fed was asking, what was the original price of Kusama? Kusama is now at 238. It was only like $1, I think.
Not when I bought the bloody thing, it wasn't.
No. You were late, Jeff. You're like at 100 something, right?
Yeah, 100 and something.
And now it's at 200 something. So look at this. Kusama is a test net. Why would Moonbeam look? Moon River will fuel the Kusama deployment, even though it might be seen as a testnet project can deploy there because Kusama has real economic condition and its own sovereign blockchain. So it's independent actually from Polkadot. Look here, we might try features there first and only the most vetted and audited code. Code is very important because good, clean code is required before you move on the main net. Because on the main net, it could get hacked or whatever, right? So they want to make sure they're okay on the Kusama. And this is the same by Parity. Parity is Gavin Wood, okay? Gavin Wood and Polkadot is Parity, is doing the same thing with Kusama and Polkadot, okay? So what does he say here? Investing in Kusama environment for Moonbeam will be at loss when launched on Polkadot blockchain? No. So there will be two. So this is the good thing about about all these projects, okay? You have two. First you got a blockchain, right? That's one. Suddenly you see like Moonbeam have two. Moonbeam is Kusama and Moonbeam is Moon River and also Glimmer. And then you have DeFi. And then you have NFTs. And you guys saw that, right? Because Moonbeam already has an NFT. So do you see that the opportunities here are tremendous?
Yeah.
In one single blockchain, there are just like so many opportunities there. It's not multi-dimension. You know, when I started this with Jeff, I was saying that this is 2-dimension. Oh my God, Jeff, this is now like 4 dimensions. Even I'm confused, man. I'm like,
I was lost at 2.
I feel like you. I feel like you now. You know, I feel like you.
Yeah. No, don't be like that. You're the man.
There's just so many dimensions. So this is one. See, so again, Moon River needs a KSM, right? And the rest will also probably need Polkadot. So let's see another one. Now this is New Zealand because this is Paul's country, okay? Because Paul is from New Zealand, so you got to look at New Zealand. Now a lot of people tell me, right? What's up with like there's a DeFi project called Reef in Polkadot. Do I like it? Yeah, I like it, but I like Karura better because this is the DeFi hub of Kusama as usual. There's always scams here, right? No one, guys, again, this is the Telegram message. No one will ever message you first. No sale event, no public sale, no private sale. They have shortlisted the people who can actually apply for the auction, okay? So you guys will have to wait and look, let's go down here. Look at it. See, everyone, yeah, Karura. I already have my Karura. I have some of them. So at least in the big one, yeah. There was an airdrop recently. I have it. So in the big one, I'll be able to participate. So now what's happening now is people are just waiting to that for that thing, waiting for all this all this drop. So look, they've gotten their wallets ready, guys. Polka wallet. Jeff, sign up for Polka wallet on Android. Okay, I hope you have an iPhone. Yeah, just get it. Don't do anything yet, because when it comes, what we will do is we will put the Kusama here ready to go, and then this is where we will stake from. Look, multiple languages now. People from other worlds, other countries are coming. Yeah, we got 3 Karura. So those of you that were lucky enough to get 3 Karura, you will be shortlisted to go in earlier than anybody else into Karura. I don't know, it's a New Zealand word. I don't understand it. It's like a half bird, half man. Maybe Helen understands it. It's like a pigeon. I don't know.
Half bird, half man.
Half bird, half man, right? So this is actually...
There's a history of those things, you know.
Oh, I see the Karura. Yeah,
Karura. DeFi hub of Kusama. Look at that, right? Look at that. Right there, look at that. So again, everybody's just excited. So everybody is just waiting for these 2 projects, okay? Just get your Kusama ready. Now, that's the good thing. The unfortunate thing is this: if you are in crypto.com, let me tell you, this is quite disappointing. Because here, if you are in other platforms like Huobi, you can already stake your Kusama. That means while you're waiting, you're earning more Kusama. Remember, projects now are about DeFi. You can actually buy a token early, like, you know, you're so FOMO about Kusama, right? There's nothing wrong buying early, because on some platforms, you just take it and get interest while waiting. Well, crypto.com, you can't do that because it's not here. See, it's not there. There's no Karura. I find this quite surprising, because Polkadot is the most, they have Polkadot. Polkadot is actually the most staked coin. 60% of Polkadot is locked. People locked it. So they have a very, very strong community. It's so strong, okay? So yeah, they have Polkadot. I don't know why they don't have Kusama, because some of it has Kusama, but we don't have it. So, you know, we have to live without our interest earnings. So just remember this, guys. This crypto thing has gone totally multi-dimensional now, right? So again, let me draw it out here. You start with the token here, right? You start with the token, and let's start with Moonbeam, and suddenly you have River, right? You have Moon River, and then you have Glimmer. That's already 2 opportunities. So, you know, 1 token gives up to 2. And then what if they come out with DeFi? Well, that's another thing. And then what if they come out with NFTs, which they have? That's another thing. So 4 like that, right? And even for this, right? Even for Karura here, it's even part of a bigger group. You know, Karura is actually the DeFi hub. Yeah, Karura, get this, is the DeFi hub on Kusama. And then related to Karura is another project called Akala. Akala is a stable coin. So there's so many things going on here. And
it's just that the world is just opening up, isn't it, mate? I mean,
correct.
It's amazing. And do you know what? I mean, I was thinking about this and how you're earning interest on your coin, whichever coin it is, but also the fact that you can take a loan out on your coin. Which, you know, you just start looking at it and thinking, geez, banks, I know there will always be a use for banks, but their use is diminishing with this stuff, because, you know, you haven't got the red tape that you have to go through with a bank to try and get one of these loans. And also what I thought was interesting, which I think is a very dangerous trap for many people, is that you can borrow on a rate which is lower than you get paid back in interest if you borrow only kind of 25% or less, which is a dangerous thing for people, because if they don't really understand money and they think, oh, do you know what, I'm going to over leverage, borrow a load to go and buy more of it or whatever, and then all of a sudden, you know, whatever they're investing in just goes down in price significantly, which it can.
Ash, I think I've always said this. I think this time until next year, early next year, is the time when the dumb money starts coming in.
Yeah.
The money that thinks that they can make money. And you're right, this is dangerous, because if I have USDC, you know what I can do? I can stake USDC here, then I can borrow this out, right?
Yeah.
I can borrow this out again using some USD. I don't know what USD AUSD, BUSD, and then I can invest the borrowed money. So
Yeah.
like my principal is earning interest here, and I'm YOLOing here. That's
Yeah.
very dangerous unless you know what you are doing. But
Yeah.
this dumb and what can I say? This is reckless money because they're
Yeah.
dumb. They think they're very clever.
Yeah. Yeah.
This
Because it seems like a simple equation, doesn't it, Shukri?
Yes.
You sort of like, oh, well, that's,
Yes.
hold on a minute, I've got it. Like, eureka.
No. And this is the thing that will
Yeah.
push the prices to the stratosphere, and this is when
Yeah.
it's not sustainable. The
Yeah.
house of cards has to fall. But
Yeah.
if you are in early, I don't like saying this, you are going to sell to these people.
Yeah. Shukri, is there any risk of these companies that are supplying the opportunity to be able to borrow and stake? Is there any risk of those companies going down? And actually,
No.
you might do something really safe and
No.
clever, and sensible, and yet you go back to crypto.com, and because they've done something in the background they shouldn't have been doing, they've gone under, and everybody's lost. Is there any?
For the small ones, yes. For the big ones, no, because it's like when you're borrowing, it's like a pawn shop.
Yeah.
They're just, you have to pay like your collateral has to be more.
Yeah.
There is a fixed percentage there, and the smart contract is always looking at this. However, some smaller companies now are coming up with things where you can even borrow like with just one-on-one with your collateral.
Yeah.
Or even less than that. Now that's dangerous.
Yeah.
Now
yes, they're very dangerous, mate.
Yeah, those companies, when the crypto markets turn over, it will just come down, and that's why I say. But
what about getting hacked?
These guys will go up. Yeah, they will hack. Sometimes the smart contract is being hacked, and yes, it can go down. It's happened a lot of times. So
because what was the one last year that
Compound was hacked, but it came back. Origin was hacked, but it came back. Paid recently was hacked also.
Yeah,
I think it comes back also. But all of these are risks. But just imagine. Okay, don't talk about crypto.com. They're big. They're okay. In fact, crypto.com was kind of hacked, but they're okay. See, they're big. They have their thing. But if this is a small company, okay, say the small company is now providing loans for people at a very low collateral value, which they're not supposed to do. And these people borrow and buy these cryptos here, XYZ, because when the loans are being pulled back, guess what? These things will also crash. But then the XYZ is going to go like 10 times when it only should have gone 2 times.
Yeah.
And that's where I think the smart money now, and you can see the smart money now is actually going in and trying to front run all these things. Now, what I see in YouTube that I do not like, and I already see this, guys, some YouTubers are actually encouraging leverage.
Yeah.
They're encouraging leverage. They're saying that, this is a la Wall Street bets. This is not cool. They're saying that it's okay to lose. You're a good guy. You're the strong guy. If you lose money, I lose. But I'm still in the trade. Like, what is that?
Yeah. And mate, that you make an interesting point, because actually one of the powers of all this stuff of us kind of migrating over to a crypto world is the power of the community. Yes. And we need to protect each other. So you're right. People on YouTube suggesting others should leverage that is not protecting the community, because everybody loses then.
Yeah, because what they're doing is this: they get money from the platform, right? They're sponsored. They're sponsored from the platform, and I just find it quite bothersome when people can, I think because now the Securities Commission is also doing its job, right? Looking at all these claims. So John McAfee just got sued by the SEC.
I saw that.
For pushing up cryptos. So what's really bothersome now is that, okay, the YouTubers now are showing their losses on YouTube, and it's considered cool. Well, some smart people, like, I'm not going to name who, that doesn't live in London anymore and going to Barbados, are going to sell here, and then they're going to disappear in Barbados and do some NFT project, right? Like, come to the bar in Barbados. But that's life, guys. That's life.
Yeah.
Get the latest ledger. Hanan Haas. Yeah, get the latest ledger. Yeah. So that's life. But yeah, if we are here, just remember to sell and move Move to Barbados or Seychelles, man. I might be in Malaysia, but I'm Seychelles. Through blue.
Too hot, buddy. Too hot. Hey, listen. So I've got to get into Poker Wallet now, have I?
Yeah. You gotta go. Just open on Android. Don't do anything. What we will do before the auction, I think we have to move it to Poker Wallet. Your Kusama from crypto.com to Poker Wallet, which is easy. And then from Poker Wallet, we will then connect to the Moon River. We'll connect to this river.
We're in the main game.
Yeah,
so can I also buy Kusama through Poker Wallet? Yes.
Yes, you can. I believe you can. No, I don't think you can. Sorry, you can't. You have to buy it from somewhere else. You store it there. And here, really, you know what we are looking at. Okay, what we're looking at is River now as a token. Okay, when they announce a River is a token for Moonbeam, that's good. And then you have more potential when River announces, hey, River has DeFi. Next thing is going to go up some more. Hey, River has NFTs. So this is really like the journey. This is like the journey a token takes. You know, when they have development, when they announce development for this, it's a pop up. When they announce like this, is another up. When they announce like this, is up. Of course, it's not going to be a straight line. It's going to be like that, like that, like that, like that. Pump and dump as usual.
So when do I launch my my Jeff Tassie Devil NFT thing? How's that all going to work?
In one of the classes, I think it'll be around in May. Just get it ready. We will mint it on this thing called OpenSea. Okay, we're going to go to OpenSea or some other platform because I'm trying to find something that is quite cheap. That's not going to cost us that's not going to cost us a lot in gas. Like now, yeah, the biggest enemy is gas fees. But OpenSea is good because OpenSea. Let's see this. Can it go there? Establish, man, it's slow again. Yeah, our largest NFT. You can actually mint it here. You can actually create something here. We open an account and then we just create something here. But I need to see the gas fees first, and then we'll create it here and put it here for sale. For sale.
Awesome.
Okay. Barbados, man, you're going to be the customer. Anyone who is in Barbados or some weird country like Seychelles, Barbados, what else? Belarus, British Virgin Islands, all those things, all you citizens, all you virtual citizens of these little countries that don't charge you, that have very little crypto tax, you guys be a customer of Jeff's Tassie NFT, right? Okay.
Now, you realize how much this artist is charging me to do this, Shukri, don't you? I need to have it 10 times just to get square, man.
right, yeah. That's right. So we'll put it on here. So it'll be on one of these. Yeah, we'll actually have a store here. Yeah, we'll have a store here. Yeah. So Fat says he's going to rush for it until it crashes. You know that they tried to sell this once. They tried to sell this and it was like, the site crashed. And look at this. Look at this. This is a Smurf, right? It's going for 5,500 sand. This is, I don't know what this is. This is a business. This is going for 1.5 Ether. What is this? 0.74 Ether. Come on, Jeff. You can do something better than this.
Absolutely.
Hey, she looks good. That's why she's more expensive. 0.79.
My God. But why? Why do people buy this? Why?
Okay, because it's proof of ownership. Now, proof of ownership is this. I'm not sure about the art, but okay, Australia. Let's say Australia rugby. Do you have something where someone comes in as a rookie, right? Becoming a rookie one day? Yeah, he's just young, right? And then suddenly he becomes an established player. That NFT that you buy when he's here, when it comes here, it's a lot. For example, the Kobe Bryant card, the rookie card was sold for 1.8 million US. So what they're doing now this was before. With NFT, saying is Kobe is in year 4, you can already sell this easily because it's digital. If Kobe is in year 8 and becomes MVP, hey, you can sell it then. So it's easier to sell somewhere in the middle. Whereas now, if you can keep that card, and many people would have lost that card, but those who have it sold it for 1.8 million.
So if I knew the former Prince Harry and Meghan Markle,
yes,
I'd be okay.
Yes, you'd be okay. Yeah.
You see, the thing is, Jeff, as well, it creates exclusivity. because nobody else can own the stuff here, and you know, apart from the people that buy this specific one. So from a band's perspective, a band might launch a song. I know Kings of Leon haven't done it this way, but a band might come along and launch a song only as an NFT, and that means that nobody else in the world, except for the people that own those particular NFTs, will have that song. So it creates exclusivity. So it's quite personalized. I think that's why it works with art and it works with creativity this way.
Yes, because the addresses on the blockchain.
Yeah.
I can still show this to someone. Say this is Jeff's NFT, right? I can show this to someone, but someone's gonna say, "Is that real?"
Yeah.
But
and the great thing is, from a band's perspective, if you've made this song and somebody's bought your song for $10, let's say, that when it gets sold to somebody else for $20, they can sell their NFT. So let's say somebody says, right, I tell you what, part of the NFT is that you get backstage passes.
Yes,
if you're not a fan of the band and you think, you know what, I can sell this, then you get all these bidders coming in.
Yes.
And when the bidders push the price up to maybe $1,000, then the band get a kickback. So it's great for the band because every time it gets sold on, they get royalties.
Yeah, it's not cool for me to tell Ash, hey, I got this copy of John's album, but it's not real.
Yes. Yeah.
I not cool anymore. You know?
I actually think this could save the music industry because as soon as they got rid of records and you could effectively take a CD and duplicate it, then everything was all over. But this means that, but again, we're back to something which can't be broken and duplicated. You know, you have to own the original copy of it.
Yes. Yes.
So it's a fantastic. I think this could be. This is where blockchain and NFTs and cryptocurrencies and the digital world solves an issue. You know, it might actually save the music industry in a big way. I know it probably doesn't need saving.
I can still make a fake copy of John's album, but it's just not cool. I'll feel so bad about myself. And if my friends know about it, it's gonna say, hey, you buy pirated stuff.
Yeah, but you couldn't do it this way though, could you, Shukri? You can't duplicate an NFT.
No, you can't.
Yeah. So
you can take a screenshot of all that, but you can't duplicate the real thing. You can download the video, but it's not the real thing. You're playing it from somewhere else. You don't have the address. Like, so what's the point?
The other thing is, why would you? Because you know, if you've paid $10 or something, you'd be better off trying to sell it for a profit. If you don't want it anymore, just sell it for a profit. You're not going to give it to your mates.
Correct. And this is what they were saying. When so I got an idea yesterday. You know, if there's a card for rookies, I just buy all of them because I don't know who's going to be successful.
Yeah.
People are saying if you buy an NFT card, let's say for Jeff's example, right, of an Australia rugby player, they're saying that if he gets injured in the middle of the season, that NFT will go down in value.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
It's really interesting, isn't it? I mean, you know, as you said, mate. I mean, but you know, this thing is becoming 4-dimensional. But I think we're going to be adding multiple dimensions quicker and quicker.
That's why I mean, the next Jeff, I say I don't know what's going on. I have.
I think I need to have something with it. I mean, apart from my beautiful face and the Tassie Devil's body.
Yes, it's like you giving, you giving some recordings on Slingshot, how you came up with it, the interviews in Actions to Wealth, and even maybe an AMA with you. That's what they do. Yeah, it's a back pass stage. That's how it's the experience.
Or I could do
for the experience.
Or I could do food and wine tours of Tasmania.
Yes, that's good. Yeah, that's another one. Yeah.
My God, another change of career.
The NFT is just a picture here, Jeff. It doesn't matter. But behind here, there's an experience.
Okay, there needs to be a USP underneath it.
Yes, there needs to be a USP underneath it. But don't worry, you have a client from Barbados and Seychelles.
Perfect.
I don't know. Anyone here from the British Virgin Islands? Hello, British Virgin Islands. You have the support here.
Yeah, you got my support as well, Jeff. So you got 3 at least.
So there's 10 cents I got.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't charge us too much for a picture.
Something like this is good. 0.05.
I need to go. Not 10x. I need to go 10,000x to pay for the artwork. All right. right. Speaking about going, we better do that. Do you think?
Yeah, I think so,
Should we
mate.
do that?
Yeah. So,
So what's my homework, Shukri, is to open a poker wallet
Yeah, Poker Wallet. Yeah.
and research OpenSea.
Yes. Just go look at the patterns there, you know. But more important than the drawing is the USP. Yeah, that's right. Something that's right, related to trading and also not related to trading, like Tassie. No one has done it from Tassie. You'll be the first NFT from Tassie, you know. Come to
You
think of
bet.
it, yeah. That's cool.
Okay, I've got to get my head around it, man. Yeah. Oh, you know, we're into hemp big time down here now.
Oh,
That's kind of the second biggest thing, right?
is it?
Bamboo, hemp.
really?
What else have we got? Salmon, the best salmon in the world.
Mm.
Tassie scallops.
Nobody knows it. I don't know it. So something
Yeah.
related to that is so exciting. Seriously, I don't know anything about Tassie. I know just the Tasmanian devil, and what else do I know? That's all I know. I cannot even imagine what a Tasmanian.
got the-
What's the landscape? I don't know. Is it a desert? Is it full of jungles? I have no.
So
idea.
if I make little videos,
Yes, that's good. Yeah, little videos.
wow,
What? Yeah,
my God.
amazing, right?
Okay. Now I'll never sleep. You never sleep. Now I'll never sleep.
Plenty work to do, mate. Plenty work to do.
SH1T. How do I get myself into these things? I don't know. Thank you, buddy. Much appreciated. Go and get some sleep, right? You haven't got a show tonight. You've got one tomorrow, and of course you've got.
Yeah.
And what you finished your? Have you got another course on the weekend?
Yeah, no, yeah, we have another free one this Sunday, but now our Crypto Moon has gone above. Yeah, we have oversubscription. So we're going to break it into two classes, one on the 21st, 20th and 21st, and one the following week, 27th and 28th.
Well done, buddy. And
Yeah,
to get in,
brilliant.
and the first one's closed. So how do they get into the second
one's
one?
still open, yeah. The second one's still open. Yeah.
How do they get into that?
Let's find it. Who can you drop in the link? I don't have the link now. Drop in the link for the second one. Yeah, and don't forget on Sunday we have here. Let me drop you the link. Do I have the link for Sunday? Let me find the link for Sunday. Yeah. Sunday we have another free session where again I think we will practice. Okay. We're supposed to practice this Sunday, guys.
So I actually need to watch the first thing and then come on Sunday.
Yes.
Oh, man, come on.
Yeah, because it's a real practice session, you know, because at the end of the day, before you guys go into battle, we better go into some practice sessions first. You know, you can't become gladiators, right? Cannot become gladiators the first time.
Understand, and you're right, 100%.
Yeah, it takes a lot of practice. Like Fad knows, right? Like Fad knows, man. It takes a lot of practice. So this is Sunday, right? Let me copy it here. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Thanks, Angel.
Cool.
Fad's got FOMO for my NFT. I love it. Fad.
Yeah, he went into a site yesterday trying to buy the NFT of the company that went 40 times, right? And the site crashed, just totally crashed. So
Was
Fad
it OpenSea?
Normal guys who had a 5-minute start. So
Wow.
yeah, but I don't know what he was doing. He was responsible for crashing it.
There you go. Listen, Ash.
And you know what they said? They said that it's ugly. And look, it's still, Jeff, your NFT is better than these guys, okay? Let me tell you, these guys
already
totally ugly, but it crashed it anyway because it's NFT.
Wow. Got to get in early, right?
Yeah.
Now I've got to think, what is my USP? And I've just given you about 50 of them.
But Tassie, you can see the good thing about Tassie, nobody knows. I don't know.
Okay.
With anything Tassie, the only thing I know is that Tasmanian devil. I don't know what a real one looks like. I only know the one in the cartoon. Seriously.
Well, yeah, I'm
you know how big that is. I have no idea. I see
my NFT is kind of based on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, that raises a question. If I can pinch a bit of time here. Copyright.
Hmm.
All of these images that are coming up.
Should be original, yeah.
And I've seen kangaroo tails and all that sort of thing on your preview screen there earlier.
Yeah.
There's going to be heck of a hullabaloo over copyright if somebody.
Yeah. NFTs, it has to be original. Yeah, that's why you have to find a real artist for that. Even for the one that I create for myself soon, it has to be an original thing. But I want to find out how this guy Paul Logan. Now, Paul Logan is very clever. Okay, he partnered with Pokemon, and he bought like 2 million of Pokemon cards or something. But then he sold an NFT showing him and Pokemon cards, and he got 5 million.
Wow.
What do you mean you got? Oh, okay, got you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Got to be careful.
Like, oh, okay.
Amazing, mate, isn't it? I mean, and I suppose this is the thing. There are going to be some people that can really squeeze this stuff and just offer, just like every product has a line like this, just to offer something which is completely and utterly useless.
Yeah.
But it's the new thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a new thing, and I'm happy for all the artists and all the singers and all those guys who have been suffering all this time.
Agreed. Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep. Interesting.
Now we can buy the original. We can even frame it on a digital frame.
Yeah.
And if I can do that, hey, come on, man. I don't want to. I could take a screenshot, but if my friends come on, I want to know that, hey, this is the picture, and look down there. That is the Ethereum address. Or hopefully it's not on Ethereum, because Ethereum's so expensive, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, Fad, it's interesting you say that. I am actually, I've got an album that's sitting there. It's about 5 years old, and I'm talking to the guys about launching it as an NFT. So I am going to do that probably.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Because it's like you have a small downside, but your upside, nobody knows. One hit, one.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah, sounds good, mate. Okay. Well,
right, what was gonna say? Head and shoulder, come on.
I think you've written the first song, mate. That's the chorus of the first song. I like it. Yeah, we should write a trading album, really, shouldn't we?
It's not a bad idea.
No, it's not. I think you're onto something there, Shukri. Okay, all right. The three of us are in business together.
No, hang on to write that down.
We're writing a trading manual as a song.
I know. It's like Jeff says, right? It's like, don't go into R1. Don't. Good singer.
I love it.
Yeah, awesome. All right, listen, we're being a bit self-indulgent here, I think, but it's good fun. It's good fun for us. I'm not sure about the people who are listening. Guys, NFT, and if you can't decipher what that actually means, fungible. Man, where did that come from? Where did it come? Ash, you got anything to trade before we go?
No, the gold chart is currently doing what I thought it would do for the first leg. So we'll see if it creates that neckline around about that 1710 level and comes back down again. So we're just waiting on gold now.
Okay, the euro. I'll just quickly pinch the screen. The dollar's coming off. I can't see. Are you seeing my screen? Yes, you should.
Yep.
Okay, we've gone into this little band of a price here, which of course is the breakout level of the previous consolidation area, or the second from the previous, actually. Question mark is, are we reversing here, or are we just putting in a little bit of a profit-taking exercise so we can continue the trend short? Look, I've got to go back to the dollar index for that, to be honest. And the dollar index, as I said before, is at a bounce point. And I think that bounce point probably ends around about there. So maybe there's just a little bit of money in trading the opposite direction today. But if you're thinking that way, then the euro's gone. you picked it up way too late. It's already had 2 phases to the upside. I
Mm.
couldn't possibly trade that long from here. So the only answer for me now is to let it hit a resistance level. Well, guess what? We're at the resistance level, maybe come off that. And I think probably now I'd have to come back underneath the pivot and retest it. And if that were the case, then I think I'd pick the short up again. But I'd be keeping my eye on that dollar index just to get a little bit of a balance there as well. Kiwi yen, I have been triggered into Kiwi yen now, looking for that to get to the top of this range for our first take profit, as I said before. And look, terrible place to get into this. And I'm not thinking we're going beyond that high at all, to be honest. But I thought there was a little bit of money to be made in here, and maybe up to there if we got fortunate. Bigger picture, I don't really see it going beyond this level. If it does, then happy days. There is an inverted head and shoulders here. The neckline has been broken. It hasn't been retested. So that's the one negative about this. We have to be quick here, in and out, I think, on Kiwi yen. Euro Aussie, yeah, too far gone here to go short. And I'm not thinking short, I'm actually thinking long. So I want to get back up to here. Again, same thing. If we get back up above the confluence area and retest it, then long is good. Pound Aussie, same thing. I'm looking to get long pound Aussie. Now I would probably be thinking this candle in what, 12 minutes? That can't be right. Why has it got 12? I'm on a daily chart, that's why. Go back to the 4 hour. Yeah, I don't think I want to get involved right now, but tomorrow, that daily chart does look interesting. Let's say we were to close below the daily pivot or even down on the weekly pivot in this vicinity. Got to be a bearish bar. It's got to be probably around about at least halfway into the bull bar. I would place a long above there, the daily bar tomorrow. Your first take profit's going to be pretty obvious in this area here, and hopefully your risk will be less than that, frankly. But if it's about the same, who cares? And we'll be looking for that to go to there. I really see that as a definite target area for pound Aussie. I don't know if we can get back above there, but that's a fair chunk of change if we can get into it. So that's what I'm looking for on pound Aussie. Euro Kiwi, it's getting a little bit messy now, Euro Kiwi, I must say. But again, I'm looking for the euro to be stronger against just about everything but the dollar, frankly, this week. We've got a bit of a channel sitting there, and we've come back to the bottom of it. I'll just throw that in. Looks fairly evident. So let's say it's there. We're coming off the bottom of that again by the look of it. And this is probably what I had in mind. But the issue, if I tighten up here, you can see are the pivots. I don't want to be trading back into that because that's got like a bit of a ping pong effect. It looks to me like the 3 bumpers on a pinball machine. That's what I was trying to think. And I don't see an easy way through there. Maybe an entry above there makes a little bit of sense. I'll reassess that tomorrow, I think. I don't see a trade there at the moment. If we were to break short, get back above here, then retest, maybe that's the place you want to go along. And that's about it. Euro pound is getting to the point where it's either go now or never go at all, because if this low goes, then so does euro pound down to here. And if that's the case, that won't give us anything to trade, because really what I thought was, again, trading the retracement leg, maybe even on the daily chart, back to this area here. But it's not giving me any sign just yet. It may well on the 4 hour chart, because we've still got a little bit of a double bottom sitting here, or a tweezer bottom at least. A higher low here still makes sense to me to trade it back up to that area. Then you're probably looking short. So no, I don't have anything extra to add. Pound is kind of halfway to our take profit area. but languishing at the moment. Does look as though it wants to go, though. It has settled above the weekly pivot. I would think the monthly pivot is probably approaching. Unfortunately, our first take profit is a little bit above there. I did say if this did retest that area, that I would look to be interested in trading that long as a free trade, not a breakout trade, but it's looking too messy for me there now. So that's me, buddy. There's nothing more to do except hang around a little bit and see if we can get the profit on Kiwi yen. See if pound Kiwi keeps going. That's settling on the highs there as well. Doesn't really want to go any higher at the moment. Yep, that's about it. All
right, buddy. All right, we'll be back tomorrow. Ainsley in tomorrow with us?
Ainsley should be in tomorrow with us to talk about her target. Well, I don't know that she's interested yet in trading it long, but she'll have an opinion on that, and I can't wait to hear what that is.
Yeah, me too, mate. Me too. Okay, fantastic. Well, everybody stay safe, and Jeff and I will be back tomorrow. Jeff will be starting up at 5 to 8 UK time, and we will be joined by Ainsley, so we can ask somebody who's a bit more educated than the both of us in the world about the world of gold and oil. So more education tomorrow.
Happy days. Thanks, Shukri, mate. Wonderful session as always. Really appreciate it. And thanks to you guys for tuning in again. We really appreciate your presence and your input. We'll catch you again tomorrow at the very same time.